Hello students. Coming to the topic, we are discussing the chapter gravitation, and in gravitation, once we discuss this lecture, you can go ahead and you can refer to the textbook. Okay, we'll discuss the important concepts over here. Later on, you can go ahead and you can refer to the textbook. You will understand each and everything. Talking about the first part is circular motion. The definition is very simple. I'll start with the definition. It says motion of a particle. Motion of a particle along the circumference of a circle is called I'll not say uniform, I'll say circular motion. So any particle which is moving along the circumference of a circle is called as uniform circular motion. The best example, there are many examples. The best example that I would say is the fan, the motion of the fan. If you observe the motion of the blade of a fan, it moves along the circumference of a circle. Now here we are not discussing with constant speed or with constant acceleration. That we'll discuss in the higher class. So as of now, we only need to understand what is circular motion. It says the motion of a particle. Now understand, there is a difference when I say particle and when I say body. And it's not a compulsion that the thing which we define as particle, we cannot call it as a body. So everything that we call it as particle, that can also be called as a body, and everything that we call it as a body can also be called as a particle. It is we who decides when to call a particular object as a particle or as a body. That we'll discuss as later on, as and when we'll proceed into the chapter. So best example, as I said, let's say this is the center, and let's say this is a particle. Now the distance of the particle, I have assumed this much. So this much distance from the center, we call it as what? A radius. And the motion of the particle along the circumference of the circle, this way. I can assume the motion as clockwise also. I can assume the motion as anti-clockwise also. So in physics, in science, by default we assume any motion as anti-clockwise only. So I'm assuming this particle, this is a particle, and it is moving along the circumference of the circle, which we call it as what? Circular motion. Now this particle can perform circular motion at this much distance also, at this much distance also, at this much distance also. At whatever distance it is performing the circular motion, that particular distance is fixed, and we call it as what? A radius in terms of maths. Now practical example, if you take one more, if you take a stone, let's say this is the stone, and I have tied it to a string. Now tie the stone to the one end of the string, take this other end in your hand and rotate the string. What you will observe is the string will become taut. The string will become taut, as in the string will be tight, and because of that tension in the string, because of the tautness in the string, the stone will perform a circular motion. As long as the string is taut, it will perform circular motion. The moment the string is cut, it will fly off tangentially. Now there are one more example if I give you, that is let's say this is sun, and we have here earth, and the earth also performs what? Earth also perform what? Circular motion around sun. So here sun is taken as the center and earth is assumed to be a particle, whereas earth is a body. But Here we have assumed it to be a particle, and the motion of the earth around the sun is termed as circular motion. So now we have a basic idea of circular motion. There are many more examples. Okay, you have if you consider the structure of an atom, you have an atom, you have a nucleus at the center, and around the nucleus, okay, we find electrons which are performing circular motion. Okay, so also I'll give you one more example. When you go to SL world, okay, most of the rides in SL world, okay, whether it is horizontal or it is vertical, okay, you will find it circular motion only. Okay, so now we are moving on to the next part, that is what makes any object to perform circular motion, okay, or what is the cause behind which, okay, this circular motion happens. So let us discuss that. I'll give an example. Let's say you have an object. Let's say you have an object this way. Okay, this is the object of some mass, and this object is moving this way. This way as in it is moving towards the right. Okay. Now this object is moving towards the right. Okay, and let's say if I am standing over here. Okay. Now the moment the mass, this particular object, okay, it is moving towards the right, and if I'm standing over here, the moment it is trying to cross me, okay, I apply force with my hand, okay, and I apply force in this way only, so this is the particular direction in which the block it is in which this particular block of mass m it is moving, and since it is moving, I'll say it will have some velocity. So if I ask you the direction of the velocity in which it is moving towards right, so the velocity will be directed towards right only. Okay, so the block is moving towards right, so the velocity is also directed towards right. Now the moment it crosses me, I also apply a force in the same direction of the velocity. What do I observe? I observe that the moment it crosses me, okay, and as soon as it crosses, I observe that there is a change in the velocity. Whatever velocity you will have it over here, okay, once it crosses me, I see that the velocity increases. So here I can make a conclusion is that whenever you apply force in the direction of velocity, what happens? Velocity magnitude changes. Let's say the particular block, it was moving with a velocity of 10 meter per second, but when I apply force in the same direction as that of the velocity, I observe a change in the magnitude of the velocity, and let's say it becomes 12 meter per second. So here you can say force is parallel to velocity. So when force is parallel to velocity has two things. It has magnitude, it has direction. When force is applied parallel to the velocity, magnitude changes, direction does not change. This is the first scenario. Okay, now let us take another scenario. Now here force was perpendicular velocity, and now we are discussing what happens when we apply force perpendicular to velocity. So force is now perpendicular to velocity. So let's say you have a block, and the block is, okay, let's say you have a block of mass m again, and it is moving this way. Okay. Now when it reaches somewhere over here, if I ask you, since the block is moving this way, if I ask you the direction of the velocity, it will be towards the right only, this way. Okay, so the block is moving this way. Now what I do is I apply a force from this side. This is the force. Now if you see, this is the direction of the force and this is the direction of the velocity, and both are at right angles to each other, both are perpendicular to each other, So what will happen is, see over here, this block is moving this way, okay, I'll say this way, okay, this particular block is moving this way, and if I apply force, take a perpendicular, see, it turns, as you can see, okay, the block is moving this way, and if I apply force, it turns, okay, it changes its direction, and it changes its direction this way. Now if I ask you, now where is the velocity pointing? The velocity of the particular block is pointing downwards, it is trying to move downwards, okay. Now again I apply a force from right hand side towards left side. What will happen is, again if you see, the block is trying to move downwards, and if I apply a force in the perpendicular direction, what will happen is, again it will change its direction, again it will turn this way. Now if I ask you, okay, in what is the direction of this particular block, in which direction the block wants to move, you will say it is trying to move towards left. The moment it is trying to move towards left, again I apply a force which is perpendicular to it. What will happen? It will again changes its direction this way, okay. Now if I ask you, where is the particular block ka velocity it is pointing, you will say it is trying to move upwards. Now again if I apply a force from left towards right, okay, both are perpendicular to each other, again what will happen is, this block will turn, okay. So as you can see, this particular block of mass m, it was trying to move towards the right, I applied a force and at right angles the block changes its direction, again I apply a force, again it changes the direction. So if I continuously go on applying force, okay, the block will keep on moving in circular path. Understanding about this center. Now if you observe this particular, because of this particular force, since I'm applying it continuously, if I go on applying continuously at every point, okay, at an angle of 90 degree to the velocity, okay, the block will keep on moving in circular path. So because of this force, this particular block of mass m, this particular object of mass m will keep on moving in circular motion. So this particular force, if you see, it is acting towards the center, and it is acting towards the center, and it is acting along the radius. So this particular force, we call it as what? Centripetal force. So what is centripetal force? If I ask you the definition, it is very simple. As you can see in the diagram itself, it is a force which is acting along the radius and towards the center. Hence it is called as what? Centripetal force, the force which is acting towards the center. So we have discussed circular motion, we have discussed centripetal force. So the conclusion that we make out of this two particular discussion is that any motion which is along the circumference of a circle, which is in a circular path, but that particular motion we call it as circular motion. And whenever the force is perpendicular to the velocity, when I say perpendicular, the force, it is acting in a direction 90 degree to the direction of velocity. So that particular force, it is responsible for the circular motion. But when the force is acting here, if you see, the force was acting parallel to the velocity, so magnitude got changed. But when force is acting perpendicular to the velocity, again velocity has two things, it has magnitude, it has direction. So here when force is applied perpendicular to the velocity, direction changes, magnitude does not changes. Here direction does not changes, only magnitude changes. Okay, so here you see at this particular point the velocity is directed this way, but then it got changed. Here if you see, the velocity is directed downwards, but since due to this force, again the direction got changed and it started acting towards left. But because of this force, again the velocity and direction got changed and it is directed upwards. Okay, सो इन द नेक्स्ट पार्ट वी विल डिस्कस अबाउट न्यूटन्स का ग्रेविटेशन लॉ एंड द केपलर्स लॉ.